program's been able to move past big wins, losses, and move forward. Do you talk much about the big picture for games like this, what it could mean, or?
No, it's too early. To me, it's still too early to talk about the big picture. I think, it just, it was last week, 2 weeks ago. I know everybody's dying to, but really it's October. And what's important right now is we play well this week. That's really what's important. And, if you're going to have a good team, a successful team, you have to get over disappointment. That's part of the deal. And, we were there last year. We've been there every year. We haven't gone through a season undefeated. And unless you can do that, then that's part of the terrain that you have to deal with. And if you can't deal with it, you're not going to be successful. So, that's a challenge ahead of us, and we'll regroup here today and do our best this week.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What does it take to go unbeaten in major college football?
First of all, you better be good. You have to be good, and then you've got to. You're never going to be totally injury-free or bad call-free or just not bad call, but unexpected things that happen. But when those things do happen, you got to be able to deal with them. It just there's challenges in every year. So, but it starts with being good. You have to have good players, and you have to have a good coaching staff, and then you got to handle the weekly challenges. They're always out there. Everybody's got them. It's really hard. I mean, it's as history has dictated. In the old days, I think it was a little easier when certain teams had talent just stockpiled to the rafters. But I think the parity that we're seeing in college football, and certainly in our conference right now, I think it's really fair to say just about anybody can beat anybody. I don't know who we would play that isn't capable of beating us in our league. And conversely, I feel like we got a chance every time we take the field. So it's a little bit like the NFL in that regard.
Is this the product of 5 years of learning for Darrell? I mean, he's now seems to be more of a target for you guys, more of a go-to receiver.
And it's if you look at our receivers, I'm talking about stockpile talent. Our receivers are mostly converted players. Darrell and Marvin are two starters at both high school quarterbacks. But it's common sense. You get better as you go if you're paying attention. And Darrell made some plays,
right.
3 years ago and all that, but he's a much better football player now than he was, 2 years ago or even last year in my mind. So he's worked hard at it, and he's had a good attitude. He's a good team guy, and he's really playing well. And we're thrilled he's on the team. I know you guys think I'm joking, but I'm not. I'm serious. He's done a great job.
You say he's better. How is he better?
In every regard, he's just more knowledgeable and more fluid. More reacts to things better. And, he's always had an ability to make plays, but I think he's a little bit more proficient now in what he's doing out there.
Was it the details?
Yeah, there's details at every position. There's a lot to learn at every position, and things change on the fly. So the experienced players are usually a little bit better at reacting to things.
You've joked before about Alan Reisner and how you could have been arrested for child abuse by throwing him out there as a true freshman, but I noticed on some of the plays, especially Robinson's 30-yard run, that he seemed to be bulked up compared to where he was a few years ago, and his blocking has to have been.
I don't remember exactly what it was in 2007, but he was in the teens, like 218, 17, something like that. And the alarming part, again, you look at his helmet, he looked like he was 14. Speaking of teens, so he really looked young in the face, and that doesn't mean anything, but it was just like added emphasis to where he was at. So, most of the guys that we've played as freshmen, we've chosen to play them. In his case, it was just desperation. We were out of guys. And to his credit, I thought he really competed and did a lot of good things that year. So clearly, he's just really, the next year was 08. He was a solid guy then, but the last 2 years he's really played. He was a starter for us last year in my mind. When Tony was out, he continued to, he just played great. And Tony came back, they gave us 2 guys. So, right now he's really playing well. And we're counting on that. I'm not surprised by it at all.